Hi, I'm Lissy. I am an ADHDer myself with a small business, obviously, and I work with ADHD entrepreneurs and high powered professionals with big dreams and big goals to help them finally follow through and make sure that they're taking the action they need to get where they want to go. Today, I'm here to share the 3-step framework that I use with myself and with my clients to help us all boost our executive function and actually get more done. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and you want to actually follow through, stick around. These 3 steps are going to help you. Without further ado, my follow through formula. So step 1 is probably the most important step. We are going to need you to prioritize the right thing. ADHD brains are going to have about 8 million ideas every 5 minutes. And that's too many things. You're not going to be able to get them all done. It's beautiful. We love your creativity. It's fantastic. And we need to sift through those ideas so that the ones that you're actually putting energy into are the ones that are actually going to move you forward, your business forward, or your career forward. So each day inside of my one-on-one coaching containers, I check in with my clients on the weekdays to find out what their top 1 to 3 priorities for the day are. And we cap it at 3. And I know you're very busy. You have a lot going on, but there are 3 things that are way more important than everything else. And whatever else gets done is just like a bonus on top of your priorities. But if you are lost in your emails and responding and putting out mini fires all day long, you're not going to move yourself forward in the ways that you want to. So we help you learn how to prioritize and practice that prioritization with some outside accountability, which makes it way easier to do than on your own. And create that clarity that you need to really get yourself going. Once you've prioritized your top 3 things for the day, we also want you to pick when you're going to get them done. So either putting them in your calendar, writing them in your planner, putting them on a sticky note on your workstation so you remember that you need to do it. But deciding exactly when you're going to try and get it done makes you much more likely to follow through and make it happen. And I know you might forget. That's why we use visual reminders like Post-it notes or alarm clocks. Or I know an alarm clock's not visual, but you get what I'm saying. We also use alarms. We want you to have help remembering and to make it easy on yourself to actually follow through. So think about what might make it easier, what might help you remember, and how can you stick to this a little bit more fluidly for yourselves. Okay, step 2, we're going to have you stop relying on memory or motivation. We need you to add some external accountability. You and I both know memory and motivation, they don't work for you. What I know is that motivation actually follows action. So if you are sitting around waiting for motivation to show up before you get started, that's exactly what your problem is. You're never going to get anywhere. Motivation doesn't typically show up for any of us, including neurotypical people, until after we've taken steps. And then once we take steps, we feel good about it. We get excited. We're like ready to take more. But we have to take those steps first before the motivation shows up. So rather than waiting on motivation to arrive, we know for your brain that external accountability and urgency massively motivates you. So rather than waiting around and just like hoping inspiration is going to strike, you can tell a friend to create a deadline for you, tell them that you will pay them money if you miss the deadline, tell them that they can donate to a cause that you hate if you miss the deadline, or anything else that you want to come up with your friend to help keep you on track. But we want to make those deadlines feel more real for you. We want those deadlines to be painful to miss if possible, because that creates an urgency that is going to motivate you and help you get things done. Other things that can work for accountability here would be body doubling, asking a friend to check in with you about a certain project and ask if you've gotten it done or moved it forward in the ways that you were intending, or even having a social media buddy DM you and ask how it's going, or if you've made any progress lately on your goals. In all of my one-on-one containers with messaging access, I check in with my clients every single day on weekdays to make sure that they're following through I check in to find out the priorities in the morning. I check in to see how it's going throughout the day, if there's any challenges coming up or any obstacles they're getting stuck on. And we work through that in real time so that my clients are never stuck and waiting. So if you're wanting to try external accountability for yourself, I want you to text or message one friend today and let them know one thing you're committing to. Make a request so that they follow up and check in and reach out after a specific period of time so that there's some kind of structure to it and you actually hear back from them one day. And then step 3 of the follow through formula is to close the loop with a dopamine trigger and reward for yourself. Rewards are going to build interest in your brain. Your brain needs interest, novelty, competition, or urgency in order to get things done. And so by giving yourself rewards for the mundane, annoying, small tasks, you make it so that you're creating a friendly environment in your brain when you think about doing that task again in the future. So if you have some really irritating projects that you're working on, or you're just moving through part of the process that's a little harder on you, we're going to need you to give yourself extra reward. And ideally, these rewards are going to be not food or spending-based items. We want you to come up with really short, 5 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less options for yourself. And I love to keep a rewards menu. I have a lot of my clients make these so that once you're done with a project, you can look at the menu and pick what would feel like the best, most exciting reward in the moment without having to come up with it or think of it all on your own. Crossing something off the list is not just satisfying, it actually releases dopamine in your brain. And if you have ADHD, your brain's a little low on dopamine, as you probably are already aware. So we want you to get that extra dopamine however you can. Write it down, cross it off. I don't care if you already did it when you write it down, cross it off anyway. You get the dopamine hit, you're giving your brain a reward, and you're signaling to your brain that like you're gonna get good things if you stick it out and push through the friction and the awful, annoying, hard, difficult part of getting started. We need to make this worth it for you so that you're willing to do it again. So the better your rewards, the better your celebration, the easier it is to build a habit and the easier it is to change things in the ways that you're wanting to. So by celebrating your wins, your brain learns that it's going to get good things when it does hard work. And this makes it easier to do it again in the future. Other examples of rewards that I give myself and suggest to my clients, I do lots of one-song dance parties after a extended focus period while I'm working and getting things done. I also love to phone a friend or do a short, stretching movement practice. You could have your reward be taking a break and playing with your kids or going outside and just taking a short walk around the block. If you have a little bit more time and you want to do a reward, you could go out into nature and take a walk or park somewhere. Other simple rewards I like to suggest to people is just like putting your hands up above your head will release feel-good chemicals in your brain like you're celebrating. So for a lot of us ADHDers, we don't give ourselves a lot of credit for things. We don't feel great when we get things done. We've got a lot of baggage around that. So one way to work through that is to have your brain actually feel the celebration, even if your mind isn't fully on board with that yet. So I like to stick my hands up in the air, do a little happy dance, move myself around, go stand up, take a break, leave the screens behind for a few minutes, and then come back and get back to work later on once I've given myself a proper reward and break for pushing through the friction and actually following through on a difficult task for myself. So for you today, I want you right now to plan a 2-minute reward for the one priority that you picked earlier in this video. And I want you to give that reward to yourself when you get that priority completed today. So again, remember, I want you picked a priority, you got some accountability and messaged a friend, and you have a reward plan and a little mini celebration plan for when that priority is completed today. Imagine having a system like this fully customized for your brain, your goals, your business, your life, and someone who can keep you on track every single weekday. That's what I help ADHD entrepreneurs and professionals with inside of my one-on-one coaching containers. If you want help actually applying this formula to your goals and consistently sticking to using this until it becomes more of a habit for you in your business and your life, or your work, you are welcome to schedule a free follow-through assessment call right now on my website. On your free call, I will help you map out exactly where you're stuck and what to do next. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your number one takeaway down below.